Hi, and welcome to the MBA512 Strategic Management Business Planning online overview video. Here I will be discussing how to complete this course in the online format and to try to keep things as simple and straightforward for you. Under the announcements page, I have listed the class schedule. So under here, I have typical summer class meets twice a week for 6 weeks. So I've outlined our class time for each week in each class for each week, and there's 2 classes per week for all 6 weeks. We'll be covering 2 textbooks, and there's a multitude of lectures from me and other guest lecturers during the 6 weeks period. And the class time is going to consist of you watching videos that I've recorded to discuss the chapter content, reading the chapter, and participating on discussion boards. So this will be your sort of a little mini schedule to get yourself organized of what you'll be doing for class time each week. Now, just like any other course, it's not just about class time, there's also assignments. So if you click on the assignments tab here, we have a multitude of assignments posted. First thing I'm going to discuss is discussion boards. So this is an 18-point assignment. There are discussion boards due each week. Each student must make 1 original post and 2 reply posts, and they should be between 100 and 200 words. So to complete the discussion board, you don't click on this link here. You click on the discussion board tab over here. And the first form I have is class questions. And in class questions, this is going to be open throughout the whole class. You can create a thread, and you can post any question you want. And just hit submit. And then this question, this of course is just an example. And then other students can click on here and answer your question, or I'll answer your question when I get to it at a certain point. But this is just an area for us as a class to discuss things and go over things and any questions or anything that's confusing. So this is always open, and it's not an assignment. You don't have to participate in here, but this would be a good way of solving a lot of commonly found issues or questions. Okay, so each week I generally have 1 discussion board each week. The first week I have an icebreaker discussion board on the FedEx commercials. You would watch this YouTube video here and then answer these questions about the MBA program. The second discussion board for week 1 is going to be about company strategies and which companies do you think have the best strategies. And it's important to read this whole section here, because here I describe, I'm going to ask you not to post about Apple, because quite frankly I'm sick of hearing about Apple. Every student wants to talk about Apple and their strategy. I think we heard enough about Apple in this MBA program, so I want you to pick something besides Apple, and I want you to make sure that you're reading all the other students' posts. Don't repeat another example a student has used. Okay, so when you click over here to get into the discussion board, and I already posted 2 example discussion boards. So this would be sort of, you log in and you see, okay, 2 students have posted. You can go in, you can read their post. I want you to rate every student's post in 1 to 5 stars. The rating is anonymous, but it helps me to get an idea of how you feel, how the class overall feels, how each posting was, and it creates an average here. And then you can reply if you want to reply to the post and create a reply and ask some questions or comment on it or bring some additional information or post a link to an article. These are all things that would count as a reply. And these little OK arrows to go back. Now when you want to create, let's see, if you want to create your own thread, let me just go back into here. You just click on this button, create thread. It's right up here. You create thread, and the format for creating a thread is you want to put your name first. So put your student name in, first and last name, and then you can make a hyphen and sort of put the subject of your posts. Then write your 100, 200 word post here. Make sure that if you say anything that needs a citation, you also citate. You can put a proper citation in your post as well, and then submit, and your new thread will be opened up. I didn't submit it, but down here you'll see your third thread. So each student gets their own thread, and it has your name on it, so I know clearly that you've created your original thread. And then I want you to go in and read all the students' original posts and then reply to a minimum of 2, but a maximum of all if you want to. And that's basically how we do the discussion board. So pretty simple. So after week 1, we're going to have, I think I have on tap here, I have them all already posted. I have a discussion board every week. Now there is a time frame for discussion boards. You cannot start them early. So this one starts on May 27th and goes to May 30th. Now, I try to keep a sort of a compressed time period for the discussion boards because I don't want you to post the last 10 minutes the discussion board is open, post your original response, and then 2 replies. It'd be great that on Tuesday or Wednesday, if you make your original posting, and then Thursday, Friday, after you've read a number of original postings, you start creating your replies. So we can keep sort of a shortened period, usually 4 days of participation on the discussion boards. Usually Tuesday through Friday is a shortened period I'm looking for the discussion boards for you to participate. And sort of, we want, if you participate too early or too late, you really miss a chance on responding to the discussion. So every day, Tuesday through Friday, and that's basically would be our class times if we were in the course, I want you to come in on each of those days, read new postings and respond. And so this is really our class time as discussion. And this will be graded each week. And so it looks like we have 1 discussion board, except for the first week, we have basically 1 discussion board each week. So let's go back to assignments. Now, also in assignments, we have varying due days of cases. So I have 5 cases. Here's case 1. Each case I've attached a link, so you could just click on the link. Here's the case. So the questions I want you to answer. And then I post some basic information about the case here. And then I expect you to build upon this and go out and research some other material, do some hunting around the internet or the library. The library is an easy thing to access. You just click library resources and you can go to, let's see, we want to go to databases A to Z, and a good database to use, I think a good database to use is there's one in here called EBSCO host, and this will, you log in with your net ID, and once you log in you can get a varied amount of sources, and you can put in a topic. Maybe I'll say JetBlue, ticket prices related to the article, and you can do a little additional research in here, and then an article comes up, and you can view the article, here's the full text of the article, and then you can hopefully some additional information in here. And over here is a quick little button that will create a citation for you that you can just quick cut and paste, and your citation will be done as well. So this is what I'm looking for when you do these case studies, is not just to answer the basic questions of the case study, but looking into it a little bit deeper and doing a little bit of your own fact gathering and research to enhance these questions, not just only from the source basic beginning point that I added, but I want you to add to it and really build a little bit more thorough case here for me. And then once you're done, when you complete it, make sure you read the complete instructions here. It talks about, keep a backup copy of your case, put your name at the top of the assignment, and things like that. And I want you to attach a Word or PDF document. So when you're done, you click on case 1, and then there will be a link here. It says browse your computer. You just browse your computer, you attach your case and hit submit. Please do not paste your case into the text box. Just attach your case to the, and click submit. And you are done with case 1. Go back to assignments. So it's pretty straightforward. And we have, actually there's 2, 3, 4, 5 cases in total. And they have varying due dates, and each case has its own PDF file I have attached to it, which has the questions. So those are two big assignments for the class: is the discussion boards and the cases. And make sure you keep track of all the due dates. There's really no rhyme or reason. Most of them, let's see here, are due on Friday, but just you make sure, like the last one, actually they're all due on Friday, but just keep track of the dates. Now, also in assignments, we have the Zoom simulation. So we're going to be doing a Zoom simulation. Now, if you've done this before in another class, which there was one other professor doing this, but he passed away, so he's no longer using this. So now I think I'm the only graduate professor using the simulations. You've probably never done it before. But if you have, you don't have to pay twice. If you used it before, you can email their customer service and they'll reactivate your account. And the Zoom simulation, I'm going to post a separate video to help you get started with the Zoom simulation. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, this is the class code June 14th, which you're going to need. So you basically go to the website here, which is jupiterinteractive.net. And it looks like this. You click on student registration. You fill out the student registration, and you move on to, I think it's going to ask you for, after you complete the student registration, the credit card page. It's I think it's a $34 simulation. It's relatively inexpensive compared to the $75 capstone simulation I used to use. And I find it just as effective for teaching strategy. And for the simulation, I'm going to ask that you complete 2 individual practice rounds before May 31st, and then complete 5 individual team competition rounds moving forward. And now you can work by yourself, or you can work in teams if you want to work with another student. But since it's an online class and we don't really have an ability for you to connect with the other students, I would ask that you are able to create a team by yourself. If you happen to know another student that maybe you see in the discussion boards and you recognize another student, you can approach them, or you can write in the class discussion board question board, say, hey, I'm looking for our teammates. Anybody interested in doing the simulation with me? You're free to partner up to 3 students. So you can be as little as 1 student, but up to 3 students in the simulation. And the simulation is graded in points, and the total points that you earn equals the total points in the project. Now, it's relatively easy to get 2,500 points if you put some effort into it, and then you get the full 15 points of this project. So pretty simple. Okay, so those are the assignments, and we covered discussion boards. There's also in the course documents, I have all the PowerPoints backed up for Blue Ocean, Kellogg's on strategy book and the Blue Ocean book. I also have the syllabus, what I suggest you read over. Now, the thing, when you click on the syllabus, there's also this little bonus example student case up here. So if you want to see how this is a mini case, what I would kind of expect as a response, I give you the case and the questions, and then down below, I actually give you a sample response from a student, and notice that they have citations, sort of to give you an idea of how to answer the cases. And it's pretty simple. Just answer it. It's not an essay, just one question at a time. So you can just put question 1, answer it, then question 2, answer it, and just make sure you have your citations. So I give you a little bonus case up here that's an example of how to do it. So that gives you a guideline. Now the syllabus describes that this is an asynchronous class, so we don't meet any particular time. It'll cover the learning goals and the class time. Here are the 2 textbooks. They're both around $20. You can get them at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or the school bookstore. This is Kellogg's on Strategies, the first textbook, and the Blue Ocean Strategies, the next textbook. I also will talk about the grading structure: 18 points for participation, which is basically the discussion board, 42 points for the mini cases, 25 points for the online exam, and 15 points for the simulation, and that's a total of 100 points. So at the end of the class, there'll be one online exam that covers the entire class, and it's essay-based, and it's not terribly long, but it kind of makes me get documents that you understand all the learning goals and core concepts for the course. How the points you earn turn into a letter grade, and the talk about participation, what I'm looking for, and again, I just repeat the schedule, and then some basic academic dishonesty and such at the bottom. So I suggest you read over the syllabus And there you have it. It's basically how you do the course. So I'd say every week, starting on Monday and Tuesday, come into announcements, see what's due for the week, watch the lectures for the week, read your chapters in the textbook, complete your assignments. And in week 1, you have a discussion board, a case study, and you need to get started with the practice rounds of the Zoom simulation. I will post another video to help you understand the simulation better in a minute. And then and make sure that you check at least 4 days a week. You check your discussion boards to post and answer replies. Now, one additional thing is when you sign up, I do have on YouTube a playlist. So I do have a link here where you can subscribe to the playlist for the class. So that way, if you don't want to keep clicking and cutting and pasting all these links, you could just go to a playlist. So over here at YouTube, I have a playlist for business strategy. So that link will get you to the playlist, and I have all the chapters of the that we're going to be using for this class linked on this playlist, and that might be easier than cutting and pasting all the links continuously. So just sort of a helpful advice. And you could also rewatch this getting started video if you have a second time doesn't hurt. And that's basically it. Stay tuned. I will actually, if you look down the announcements, I can just kind of tell you this now. This is where I have the business simulations also posted here, and I have this getting started YouTube video here that I posted. Now, I recorded this last year, so there may be some information in it that particularly pertains to, I'll probably say June 13 instead of June 14. Just remember our class code is June 14 when you watch this video, and you can basically, it's going to show you everything you need to do in the video, but just remember the class code might be different because I recorded that video last year. And I also have under announcements citations. These citations are examples of citations, and if you don't know how to cite properly, this will help get you up to speed, because any type of information you give me from another source, I expect you to cite it, whether it's in a case study or in a discussion board. And remember, for the Zoom simulation, you don't have to fill out the reflective observation text boxes at the bottom of each simulation page. Okay, so that should be enough to get you started on the simulation. So at this point, if you have any other questions, please post it to the class discussion board, any questions you may have, and I'll answer them here to clear anything up. So I would suggest after you watch this video, kind of tooling around Blackboard a bit to get an idea of what's due, and maybe make a schedule for yourself and get a better feel of the course. And then after you do that, I would suggest that you go straight to watching the video of getting started on the simulation and registering and starting the first practice rounds on that. Okay, so that should be enough to get you started, and I'm looking forward to this class, and I wish you a successful semester. Thank you.